All right, greetings, Cyber Patriot. We're back on the Cyber Juju channel, and we're going to have a quick video to talk about the Microsoft Baseline Security Analyzer. Great tool for analyzing Windows. Nomenclature is actually important with it. The baseline security, that as you continue through your IT security career, the idea of baseline security does have a sort of a standard definition that when you look at security settings on a server or an application or any sort of an environment, baseline security is considered the base set of things that you need to do pretty much no matter what. Like anything with security, the tighter you make things, the more administrative overhead you can get, the more that you might break something, the more that you might run into a compatibility problem. So the baseline security is the idea that you can lock this stuff down. It's the base set of things that need to be locked down, and hopefully you're not going to be too aggressive about the settings and end up breaking something in the process. So this is Microsoft's Baseline Security Analyzer. We'll take care of trying to get a certain set of settings that will make sure our Microsoft operating system is at least at a certain level of security, and for our purposes, hopefully help us in maybe finding if there's a setting that we've missed that we need to change for scoring purposes. So simplest way, if we need to download and install this thing fairly quickly under Cyber Patriot scoring time pressure, I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to do MBSA, and we do the search. I've already got the results up. 2.3 is the version we're looking for at the moment. We can see that this is the download link, so this first link is going to be trustworthy from Google. We're going to go and we're going to land on the page we want, and if we can get the scroll bar to work for us, we're going to move down. We went to English language, download, that's pretty much it. So we're going to hit the download. Which one of these? So we're going to do the 64-bit version of English, not Dutch or French or whatever. We could have my daughters take a crack at Spanish, but we won't do that either. So we're going to say next, and it's going to start popping up down here. I'm in Chrome, so it does this little thing of showing what's going on at the bottom. And that was it. So let's show in the folder, and there it is in the downloads. So now I'm going to run the installer. Quick double click on that, and here comes the wizard. And let's minimize a few windows just so we're cleaner here. So we've begun the setup wizard. We're going to click next. We're going to agree to the license agreement, which is fine since they provide it for free. We're going to take the default location on the C drive, which is great. And we are ready to start putting some content. We get our little check from Windows 10 asking, are you sure you want this to happen? We confirm. It's not a huge app, so it'll go pretty quickly. And we are installed. So we okay that. And here we are, Microsoft Baseline Security Analyzer. So this is what you would do on your Microsoft VM, whether we're a Windows 7 or a Server 2008, which is what I think we'll see in our next round. Obviously not pertinent at all from the Linux standpoint. So it's also, as we run it the first time, it still wants to make a change that's going probably some registry setting or something. All right, so now we're in the tool itself, and this is what we're trying to get to. All that was just downloading and installing just so we could get to the point of running a scan against our machine. If we're in a network environment, you can actually scan multiple computers, and that's handy as I'll get out for a network administrator that's trying to check and make sure everything's clean. But for us, it's just checking against a single computer by name or IP. So we're going to click on that. It's going to default to going to this computer name, which is the local PC here. That's what it's going to default to. You could put an IP address if you were scanning a single machine elsewhere and so forth, but don't need any of that. But it's got by default is fine. Checking for admin vulnerabilities, let's do that. Weak password, let's do that. IS admin vulnerabilities. Won't have anything because IS does not install this machine, but good to have just in case it does work like that on an image that you're being scored. SQL database admin vulnerabilities. I would think they probably won't do that on a Cyber Patriot image, but could be wrong, so good to have that checked. And obviously checking for security updates. But like we talked about in class, when you're running against a Windows 10, you can't trust that. There's things where you can make it work, but just for Windows 10 purposes, if you're ever running this, it will probably tell you your updates are not set correctly or you're missing updates when, in fact, they are. But for Windows 7, you can trust the results, and for the SQL 2008 Server 2008, you can also trust the results on this. Configure the computers for update and scanning prerequisites. It's got that off. Advanced update services, WSUS. We're not using WSUS here, so this is sufficient what they've got for the setup. So we start the scan, and we may have to pause and fast forward to for time purposes of our video. We'll give it just a moment, see how it does, but we might pause and then come right back in a moment and check out the results. But it's going to start to scan. We've got our progress bar that's going to be there. We're spinning. So for time purposes, we're going to fast forward. So I'll be back in a moment when we've got our results ready. Hang tight. All right, welcome back. And here we have the results after the scan finishes. And like we anticipated, developer tools, runtimes, redistributables, and security updates with a big red X, that's okay. That's actually just a misread on the part of the fact that the tool was designed a ways before Windows 10, and the way Windows 10 does the updates is different from predecessors, and so that's just a misread. Now, what's interesting is automatic updates has an X. That's the worst kind of thing, but we already understand that. Local account passwords. Some have blank or simple passwords or cannot be analyzed, so we can get some result details there. More than 2 administrators, password expirations. There's some interesting stuff to look at. And then the green is good. Informational stuff on these blue just is maybe worth looking at, but kind of they've got it in your prior choice order. So from a Cyber Patriot standpoint, start at the top and work down. Don't worry about the green, but that tells you things you don't need to look at. So you'll probably find a lot more if you ran this against an image. We could do this, run it after maybe we've done the first cut of things in a checklist, and then run those, see if there's anything else that jumps at you, go after those, and then start working on the, probably then after that, take your time and work through the forensic questions. So I hope this is helpful. We'll be checking out some more, but that gives you a quick rundown on how to do it so that when you get to competition time, you'll be ready to go with using the MBSA tool to maybe score some extra points. All right, talk to y'all soon.